I'm back at it again. And, yeah, now I get to talk about Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And, a little bit of background on the Transformers franchise for me. One of my favorite franchises growing up, especially with the live action Michael Bay movies. So, the first one that came out in 2007, I consider to be like a personal favorite of mine, and it is by far the best. Besides another one that I would like to put above it, but that is still one of the coolest movies ever. The sequel, I've seen more times than the original, and it is goofy, but it's not really all that great. Transformers Dark of the Moon, though, is kind of a step up from Revenge of the Fallen, and I kind of do like that one quite a bit. Age of Extinction and The Last Night are the lowest points of this franchise. I just couldn't remember both of those movies if it even helped me. But then Bumblebee came out in 2018 at the tail end of the year, and that was a major surprise. And to date, that might be my favorite Transformers movie. But the recently released Transformers Rise of the Beasts is kind of like a sequel to Bumblebee, without being a sequel to Bumblebee, if you know what I mean. Because this is almost kind of like an origin story for the Autobots and the Terracons and the Maximals, which are the animal counterparts of Transformers. So this whole movie, and not to mention, it's not that long either, so it is very tolerable. Some of these Michael Bay movies were nearly 3 hours long, and I just couldn't stand it. But this is very well paced, and I wasn't bored at all during this movie. I actually really, really do enjoy this movie. I think some of the visual effects are pretty awesome. The Terracons look freaking amazing. And even the Maximals are pretty dope too. But in the middle of all this, we meet Noah Diaz, played by Anthony Ramos. And he is looking for this key to get the Autobots back to Cybertron. But Optimus doesn't really want that. He doesn't really trust Noah at first. But Mirage, which is kind of like a Bumblebee counterpart to Noah, really changes Optimus Prime's mind with that. So this is just like another globe-trotting adventure, and the final battle takes place in Peru, if I'm not mistaken, and it's probably one of the best climaxes in this franchise. But to me, the best climax of this franchise is the Battle of Chicago and Dark of the Moon. It's just really well done. But not to mention, you also have the Maximals. You have like a gorilla, a rhino, a hawk, and a cheetah. And it's almost kind of like Beast Wars, which was probably like back from the like 90s and 2000s. I did want a little bit more of that aspect, but it takes a while for the Maximals to actually team up with the Autobots, to tell you the truth. But this one was a very solid movie, and probably one of my new favorite Transformers movies. It's nowhere near as good as Bumblebee, Transformers, and Transformers Dark of the Moon, but it'd probably be like my number 4 pick. But overall, I would give Transformers Rise of the Beasts, I'd probably give it a B right now. Very solid movie. Okay, those are my thoughts on Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And the next movie I want to talk about is The Boogeyman. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll see you in another minute or two. And boy, do I have some thoughts about that movie. It's going to be a fun one. I'll see you guys in a minute. Adios. Peace.